The sun of the alien planet sets slowly behind the hills. In the distance, the colony shimmers with bright lights, casting long shadows across the land. The aliens, with their technologically advanced cities and confident forces, rule this planet without a care. They believe nothing can threaten them. They are strong, they have the most advanced weapons, and they control the skies. But tonight, things are different. Something is coming that will make them question everything. On the edge of the colony, an alien patrol walks in a straight line, their boots heavy on the soft earth. The night air is still, with only the hum of distant machines filling the silence. Their weapons are ready, scanning the area for any potential threats. But what they don't know is that something is watching them from a distance. A single human sniper, crouched low in the bushes, hidden from view by an advanced cloaking device, is waiting. His rifle is silent but powerful. He has only one goal: to take down the enemy without being seen. The first alien guard, unaware, steps into a clearing. His hand moves to adjust his weapon. Then, suddenly, a tiny sound. A whisper in the wind, just a fraction of a second. Before the guard can react, the sniper's shot rings out, and the alien falls silently to the ground. His body hits the dirt with no more noise than a leaf falling from a tree. The other aliens don't even notice at first. The sniper watches, his heart steady. This is what he does. He's been trained for this very moment. As the patrol moves on, unaware of their fallen comrade, the sniper lines up his next shot. Another alien. Another silent kill. This one falls just as quickly, and then another. In the shadows, the sniper moves, always just a step ahead of his enemies. One by one, the alien soldiers are picked off. They don't understand what's happening. Why are their men falling? Their technology is the best in the galaxy, but they can't see their enemy. They can't fight what they can't even detect. Panic starts to set in as the patrol leader orders his men to check their scanners, to turn on their cloaking devices. The humans might be clever, but surely their tech can track them down. But nothing works. The sniper remains invisible, just out of their reach. In the command center, high above the colony, the alien commander watches the situation unfold on his monitors. His face is calm, but inside, he is beginning to feel something he hasn't felt in years: doubt. He watches as his soldiers fall, one by one, and his mind races. The humans aren't supposed to be like this. They're primitive, weak. How could one human sniper cause so much damage? Report, he demands, slamming his fist on the table. His second-in-command quickly looks over the data, fear in her eyes. Commander, they are everywhere. We can't track them. The cloaking devices aren't working. The commander's eyes narrow. Are you telling me that we, the most powerful species in the galaxy, cannot find a single human? His second-in-command nods, her voice shaking. Yes, sir. He's using advanced cloaking technology, and his shots, they're precise. They don't miss. The commander is furious. He can't let this human continue to destroy his forces. He orders his men to find and eliminate the sniper at all costs. They may have the best tech, but it seems they're facing an enemy they hadn't prepared for. The sniper's ability to hide, to move without a trace, has thrown them into chaos. In the shadows, the sniper watches the scene unfold. He sees the aliens starting to panic. He smiles, his breath slow and steady. They think they can hunt him, but they're wrong. This is his game now. He knows every corner of this terrain. He's trained for years, and he's the last person they should underestimate. He moves silently, his figure barely visible in the low light. His rifle is still steady in his hands. Another shot, another kill. The sniper doesn't waste a moment. The alien soldiers start to retreat, running in all directions, trying to escape the silent death stalking them from the shadows. And then, as one of the aliens turns a corner, he comes face to face with the sniper. For a split second, time seems to slow. The alien's eyes widen, and the sniper pulls the trigger. But something happens. Before the shot can be fired, the alien commander's voice echoes through the speakers of the soldiers' helmets, a voice of authority and strength. Don't retreat. Hold your ground. We are not like these humans. We are better. The sniper pauses for just a moment. His instincts tell him to take the shot, but something in the commander's voice gives him pause. He's heard about the aliens before, their arrogance, their belief in their superiority. They never expected to be hunted by a human, let alone be at the mercy of one. For a moment, the sniper's mind flashes back to his training. He remembers his commander's words. The best soldiers don't just fight to survive. They fight to prove that humanity can overcome any challenge, no matter how advanced the enemy is. The sniper shifts position, moving into a new vantage point. He knows that he must remain calm. He cannot let his guard down. But there is something different about this mission. This isn't just about taking down a few alien soldiers. This is about proving that humanity will not be intimidated. This is about showing the galaxy that no matter how far the aliens come, no matter how technologically advanced they are, the human spirit cannot be broken. As the aliens regroup and prepare for another search, they begin to feel the first stirrings of fear. They know something is wrong. They feel it in the air, a tension that wasn't there before. The sniper is still out there. And now, they know something even worse. He's not alone. The commander orders his forces to set a trap. They will flush the sniper out. But as they move, they still can't see him. They move in groups, turning over every rock, checking every corner. But the sniper remains just beyond their reach. Finally, the commander grows desperate. He orders the deployment of drones, seeking to flush out the sniper. The drones hover over the ground, scanning for heat signatures, for any sign of the human who has caused so much damage. The sniper watches as the drones approach. He knows they are looking for him, but he is ready. From his position, he fires a small device into the air. It bursts into a cloud of smoke, creating a distraction. The drones move in closer, their sensors focused on the smoke. The sniper uses this moment to slip away, moving farther into the shadows. The aliens are frustrated now. The feeling of powerlessness is overwhelming. They have been hunting for hours, and they are no closer to capturing their prey. The sniper is out there, somewhere, and they still cannot find him. As the night wears on, the aliens begin to realize something they've never had to consider before. Maybe they're not as invincible as they thought. And maybe, just maybe, they've underestimated the human who was hunting them. The suspense hangs thick in the air, and the commander can no longer deny the truth. There is something about this human sniper that makes him more dangerous than any alien warrior. He is a force of nature, a predator in the true sense of the word. And the alien commander fears that, if they don't find him soon, they might just lose everything. The commander of the alien forces stands in the heart of the command center, glaring at the holographic map in front of him. The map displays the terrain of the colony's outskirts, where the human sniper has been picking off his soldiers one by one. His soldiers, the pride of their species, are being decimated by a single human, an underdog that, just hours ago, they would have laughed off as a minor threat. But now, with each fallen soldier, the commander's resolve hardens. He will find this human and crush him. The humiliation is too great to ignore. His hands shake with anger as he orders a complete lockdown of the colony. All patrols are called back, and all reinforcements are sent out to search the entire area. No stone will be left unturned. He can't allow this human to make a mockery of his forces. The aliens, with their advanced technology and superior numbers, begin to search the perimeter with the most sophisticated tools available. They deploy drones, powered exosuits, and even advanced scanners designed to detect heat signatures, movement, and sound. The sniper is no longer invisible. They know where he is, but they can't find him. It's as if he's a shadow in the night, a ghost slipping through their fingers. The commander watches as his troops spread out in perfect formation, the drone swarm moving overhead, scanning every inch of the land below. He watches as his men march forward with confidence, convinced that they will catch this human soon. The situation is becoming more and more tense by the minute, and each alien soldier is on high alert. The commander's patience is wearing thin, and his mind is filled with one thought: find him. Now. Meanwhile, the sniper is far from hiding in fear. He moves with ease through the jungle of the alien world, never stopping for long. The perfect sniper never stays in one place for too long, and he knows the aliens are hunting him. The smoke screen he deployed earlier allowed him to escape, but now he's getting ready for his next move. His rifle is still silent, but his mind is racing, calculating every. He's been on the move for hours, always keeping one step ahead. He knows the alien forces are searching for him, but he also knows that they don't understand how he thinks, how he moves, how he survives. The alien soldiers are used to overpowering their enemies with sheer force. But this human plays by a different set of rules. He fights with patience, with precision, with strategy. The sniper can hear the hum of the drones above him. Their buzzing fills the air like an annoying mosquito, but he knows better than to be distracted. The drones are a powerful tool, but they have their weaknesses. The sniper carefully crouches down and places a small reflective device on the ground, barely noticeable in the darkness. The device's reflection tricks the drone's sensors, creating a decoy. For a moment, the drones veer off course, scanning the wrong area. The sniper takes this opportunity to move. He shifts position, silently crawling through the thick brush, using his environment to cover his tracks. He knows that the alien forces will eventually find his decoy, but by then, it will be too late. He will be gone, a ghost once again, just as the aliens are about to realize they've been outsmarted. Meanwhile, the aliens are becoming increasingly frustrated. The commander's patience is running out. His troops are starting to panic. They can't seem to find the human, no matter how hard they try. The alien soldiers are used to being in control, but now they are starting to feel like prey. The arrogance that once defined them is slipping away, replaced by confusion and fear. As the commander watches his troops search with no success, he realizes that his soldiers have been put into a position they've never been in before. They're not the hunters here. They're the hunted. For the first time, they are beginning to understand what it means to be vulnerable. In the command center, the tension is palpable. The alien commander starts to lose his temper, barking orders at his subordinates. He demands more scans, more drones, more soldiers sent out to find the human sniper. The humiliation of losing to a human is unbearable. He needs to prove to his men that their technology, their weapons, and their superior intelligence can overcome this primitive human threat. The commander's frustration grows as the minutes turn into hours. His soldiers, once confident in their ability to dominate, are now disoriented. They are no longer able to track the sniper. The weapons they once thought of as infallible now seem useless against the human's tactics. Each time they think they have him cornered, the sniper slips away. It's as if he's playing a game with them, and they are losing. The sniper, however, remains calm. Every time he takes a shot, he listens carefully for the sound of the impact, the soft thud of an alien body hitting the ground. He doesn't waste time looking at the fallen soldiers. His job is to keep moving, keep hiding, keep hunting. With each shot, he feels the weight of the mission on his shoulders. This isn't just about survival anymore. This is about sending a message. For the sniper, this is personal. He's been trained for years to face the odds, to take on missions that others would deem impossible. The enemy here is ruthless, technologically superior, and overconfident. But in the heart of battle, it's the human spirit that makes all the difference. The sniper knows that he represents something far bigger than himself, the defiance of humanity against the might of the aliens. The alien forces begin to circle the area with increased urgency. The drones sweep the skies, their sensors probing every corner of the landscape. The alien soldiers, their frustration now turning to desperation, are closing in on the sniper's last known location. The sniper knows that his time is running out, but he also knows that this is the moment when his training, his patience, and his instincts will prove their worth. He takes one last look at the battlefield. His rifle is ready, his mind sharp. He's made it this far by staying out of sight, by moving like a shadow, always staying one step ahead. But now he knows that the aliens will not stop until they've found him. They will hunt him down until the end. The only question now is, will he be able to escape, or will this be his final mission? The sniper's pulse quickens as he watches the alien soldiers converge on his position. This is the moment. He can feel the pressure building, but he doesn't flinch. Instead, he takes a deep breath, steadies his rifle, and prepares for the fight of his life. The aliens are coming, but so is something else, something they aren't prepared for, the human will to survive. The tension in the air is thick, like a storm about to break. The alien forces, having spent hours combing the jungle for the human sniper, are now closing in on his last known location. They know he's out there, somewhere, and they won't stop until they've captured or eliminated him. The commander stands in the heart of the command center, staring at the flickering holographic map. Every movement, every click of a drone's signal as it scans the area, is a reminder of the stakes. If the sniper gets away now, it will be an embarrassment the alien forces can't recover from. The humiliation of being outwitted by a single human would be too much to bear. But the sniper knows this better than anyone. He can hear the hum of the drones above him, their presence a constant reminder that he is being hunted. He knows the alien forces won't stop until they've found him. But unlike the aliens, he has a different kind of advantage. He is human. He has something that they don't: ingenuity, cunning, and the will to survive. His hands grip the rifle tighter as he adjusts his position. He's hidden well, tucked in between the thick foliage of the jungle, but the air is getting hotter. The sweat drips down his forehead, and his muscles ache from being so still for so long. He hasn't moved in hours, but he knows he can't let his guard down. The aliens are getting closer, and he has to outthink them if he wants to survive. He shifts ever so slightly, making sure not to break his cover, checking his gear one last time. Every moment matters now. One wrong move, and it could all be over. The alien forces have made their move. The commander has deployed his elite search team, and they are now combing the area with precision. They are methodical, organized, and relentless. Their technology allows them to detect heat signatures, sound, and even the slightest movement. But the sniper is prepared. He knows how to use the environment to his advantage, how to blend in and disappear. He knows the terrain better than anyone, and he knows that he has only one chance to make it out of this alive. The search party spreads out, each member scanning the area in a perfect formation. They are relentless in their pursuit, but they still can't find him. The sniper smirks to himself. He can hear their footsteps, the alien soldiers searching for him with their advanced technology, but they are no closer than they were hours ago. He has outsmarted them so far, and he intends to keep it that way. But this is more than just a chase. This is a game, a deadly game of wits. The sniper knows that the aliens are getting more and more desperate. They've lost soldiers, they've been humiliated, and now they are focused on finding him at any cost. They think they have the upper hand, but they don't. They don't understand what they're up against. As the sniper moves silently through the jungle, he begins to formulate his next move. The aliens are predictable. They rely on their technology, their superior weapons, and their numbers. But the sniper knows that technology can fail. He's seen it before. The key to beating the aliens isn't brute force. It's outsmarting them, exploiting their weaknesses. He positions himself behind a massive tree, checking the trajectory of his shot. The aliens are closing in, but they haven't spotted him yet. The sniper holds his breath, waiting. His eyes lock on the nearest target, an alien soldier scanning the ground with a handheld device. The soldier's back is turned, and the sniper knows this is his chance. He lines up the shot, steadying his hand, breathing slowly. The world goes quiet around him. Then he pulls the trigger. The rifle's shot is silent, but the impact is undeniable. The soldier drops instantly, a clean shot through the neck. The sniper doesn't wait to see the result. He's already moving again, slipping away into the jungle like a shadow. He knows that every time he takes a shot, he's buying himself more time. But he also knows that the aliens will soon catch on. They'll change their tactics, and that's when things will get even harder. The commander's eyes narrow as the report comes in. One of his soldiers has fallen, but this time, there's no sign of the sniper. This isn't like the earlier attacks, where the human would shoot and vanish. This time, there's no trace. The commander can feel the anger rising in him, but there's no time for that now. His men need to be better. He needs to adapt, to think outside the box. The sniper is clever, and if the aliens want to survive, they must be clever too. Prepare the flares, the commander orders. We're going to flush him out. The search party begins to set up the flares, which light up the sky in an unnatural glow. The bright light cuts through the darkness, casting long shadows on the jungle floor. The sniper flinches as he sees the sudden burst of light, knowing that the aliens have changed their approach. They're no longer relying on stealth. They want him to be exposed. The flares are designed to reveal his position, to catch him in the open. But the sniper is ready. He has been preparing for this moment. As the flares light up the sky, he moves quickly, staying low to the ground, using the shadows to his advantage. The light may be bright, but it's not enough to give the aliens the upper hand. He's already thinking 2 steps ahead. He crouches behind another tree, taking careful aim at the nearest alien soldier. The alien's back is turned, but the sniper hesitates. He knows that taking out this soldier will give away his position. He's not afraid to take the shot, but he's calculating. He can't afford to be reckless. The seconds feel like hours as the sniper watches his target. The aliens are starting to move in different directions now, their flares illuminating the jungle. The sniper knows that if he stays in one place too long, they will find him. But he also knows that if he moves too quickly, he will be spotted. It's a deadly balance, and every decision counts. He hears the footsteps of an alien soldier moving toward him, and the sniper instinctively raises his rifle. But then he pauses. A voice in his head tells him not to fire. Not yet. He takes a deep breath and waits for the perfect moment. When the soldier is in the right position, when there's no chance of missing, he squeezes the trigger. The soldier crumples to the ground, but the sniper doesn't wait to watch. He's already on the move again, disappearing into the shadows of the jungle. The game is far from over, and he knows the aliens are learning from every encounter. This deadly game of wits is only just beginning. As he disappears into the dense foliage, the sniper feels a small sense of victory, but he knows that the aliens will be more prepared next time. They're beginning to catch on. The real test has just begun. The sniper has made it this far, but now, the true battle of survival begins. And he knows that if he's going to make it out alive, he'll have to rely on his wits and his will to survive. Because this isn't just a fight against the alien forces. This is a fight for humanity's survival. The jungle was silent now, save for the rustling of leaves in the wind and the faint hum of alien drones circling above. The alien forces had pushed deeper into the dense forest, their search becoming increasingly frantic. The sniper knew they were getting close, too close. He could hear their footsteps as they moved through the jungle, their heavy boots crunching against the foliage. The once calm jungle was now a battlefield, with the aliens and the lone human locked in a deadly game of cat and mouse. The sniper had moved silently through the jungle, leaving behind a trail of dead aliens in his wake. He was running out of time. His ammunition was running low, and the aliens were adjusting their strategy. They had learned from his tactics, and now they were closing in on him faster than ever. He couldn't afford to make a mistake. One wrong move, and it could be over. He crouched low behind a thick tree trunk, peering through the scope of his rifle. The night was falling, but the jungle was alive with activity. The aliens had set up a perimeter, their searchlights cutting through the darkness. The sniper knew they would come for him, but he was ready. This would be the final confrontation, and he had to make it count. In the distance, he spotted the first alien soldier. The soldier's back was turned, and the sniper quickly calculated the shot. But just as he was about to pull the trigger, he saw something that made him pause. Another soldier, and then another. The aliens were not moving in small groups anymore. They had begun to form a cohesive unit, surrounding him from all sides. It was a trap. The sniper's heart pounded in his chest. This was it, the moment he had been preparing for. The aliens had finally figured out how to corner him. But they didn't realize one crucial thing. The human sniper was more than just a soldier. He was a master of survival, a man who could think several steps ahead. And he wasn't going to give up without a fight. He adjusted his position, moving quietly from cover to cover. He couldn't risk making any noise now. Every sound was amplified in the thick jungle, and the aliens had their technology on full alert. He had to move carefully, stay hidden, and wait for the perfect moment. The sniper knew that if he revealed himself too soon, he would be surrounded, and that would be the end of him. He moved like a shadow through the trees, his senses heightened. The alien soldiers were closing in on his last known position, but they were unaware of his presence just a few meters away. The sniper felt a surge of adrenaline as he prepared for the final assault. He was outnumbered, but he had something the aliens didn't, the element of surprise. The sniper raised his rifle again, taking aim at the nearest soldier. He held his breath, focusing on the target, adjusting for the wind. He squeezed the trigger slowly, and the rifle's shot echoed in the night air. The alien soldier dropped without a sound, his body crumpling to the ground. But the sniper didn't wait to see the result. He was already moving again, blending into the jungle as if he had never been there. The aliens, now alerted to his presence, began to fan out, their movements more calculated. They were no longer underestimating the human. The commander had ordered them to use everything they had: drones, advanced sensors, and enhanced weapons. The hunt was on, and the aliens were no longer treating it as a game. This was survival. But the sniper wasn't done yet. He had planned for this moment. He had known the aliens would adapt, and he had a few tricks left up his sleeve. As he moved deeper into the jungle, he activated a small device hidden in his pack. The device emitted a low-frequency signal, disrupting the alien sensors for a few precious seconds. It wasn't much, but it was enough. In the chaos that followed, the sniper took out 2 more soldiers, using the environment to his advantage. He darted from one piece of cover to another, his rifle never still. He was in his element now, calm, focused, and ready for whatever came next. But just as the sniper thought he had the upper hand, the ground beneath him shifted. He felt the vibrations before he heard them, a low rumble, followed by the distinct sound of heavy footsteps. The ground shook with each step, and the sniper's heart sank. He knew exactly what was coming. A massive alien war machine, towering over the trees, came into view. The machine was armed to the teeth, with heavy plasma cannons mounted on each side and a reinforced shell that could withstand most weapons. It was a weapon designed for total annihilation, and it was closing in fast. The sniper had seen these machines before. They were unstoppable. The machine stopped a few hundred meters from his position, its cannon swiveling as it scanned the area. The sniper knew he couldn't outrun it, and he couldn't hide from it. This was the moment he had feared. The last trick he had was to take down the commander, but the war machine made it nearly impossible. His mind raced, trying to think of a solution. But it was clear now. He had only one option left. He had to face it head-on. The sniper took a deep breath and ran. The sound of his footsteps was drowned out by the rumbling of the war machine, but his heart was pounding in his ears. He didn't have much time. The machine would fire soon, and he needed to act before it did. He darted from tree to tree, his rifle raised, looking for an opening. The war machine's cannons were locked onto him, and he knew that one hit would be his last. The sniper reached a clearing just as the machine's plasma cannons charged. He could feel the heat from the energy buildup as the machine aimed at him. He took a quick glance at the distance between him and the machine's weak spot, a small hatch on the underside, barely visible. It was his only chance. Without hesitation, he took aim and fired. The shot hit the hatch dead center, and for a moment, nothing happened. The sniper's heart skipped a beat. Then, the war machine exploded in a blinding flash of light. The shockwave sent the sniper flying backward, crashing into the ground. His vision blurred, and he could hear the ringing in his ears. The jungle was quiet once again. The sniper slowly rose to his feet, battered and bruised, but alive. He had done it. The war machine was destroyed, and with it, the last of the alien forces. As he staggered to his feet, he heard the familiar hum of alien drones retreating into the distance. The battle was over. The commander's forces had been defeated, and the sniper had triumphed against all odds. He was the last human standing, and he had shown the aliens the true meaning of survival. The sniper looked around at the wreckage of the battlefield, his chest heaving with exhaustion. The jungle, once alive with the sounds of battle, was now eerily still. He had done what no one thought possible. He had beaten the aliens, and in doing so, he had proven that humanity was far more than they had ever imagined. As the sun began to rise over the jungle, the sniper knew that the fight wasn't over. There would be more battles, more enemies to face, but for now, he could rest. He had won. The aliens would remember this day. They would remember the human sniper who had taken down their greatest weapon and defeated them in their own game. And he would never be forgotten. The sniper was a legend now, a symbol of humanity's strength and resilience. The sun had set, leaving the jungle in a veil of darkness. The alien forces, once confident in their superiority, were now scattered. The earth, still trembling from the battle, seemed to mourn the destruction. Where once there was fear in the air, now there was only silence. The invincible war machine had been reduced to nothing but smoldering wreckage, and with it the aliens' hopes of victory had been dashed. The sniper had done what no one thought possible. He had taken down their greatest weapon. Among the remaining aliens, uncertainty began to grow. The commanders, the elite soldiers who had once believed they were untouchable, now found themselves questioning their decisions. They had underestimated the humans, believing them to be weak and primitive. But now, after the destruction of the war machine and the death of so many soldiers, the realization was beginning to sink in. The humans were not what they had thought. The highest-ranking officer, a towering alien commander with sharp, angular features and skin that shimmered like dark metal, stood at the edge of the battlefield, staring out into the darkened jungle. His troops were regrouping, but the damage had been done. The human sniper had not only destroyed their weapon, but had also torn apart the myth of their invincibility. The commander's thoughts were filled with a mix of anger, frustration, and disbelief. How could a single human, just one, bring them to their knees? It was unthinkable. The aliens had superior technology, weapons that could reduce entire cities to ashes in the blink of an eye, yet they were no match for a human soldier, armed with nothing but a rifle and his cunning. He had used the jungle to his advantage, his knowledge of the terrain allowing him to outsmart even their most advanced tracking systems. The sniper was a ghost, a predator hidden in the shadows, and the aliens were nothing more than prey. The commander took a deep breath, trying to suppress the growing frustration inside him. He had seen many battles in his time, but this one felt different. For the first time, he was not in control. He could feel the weight of his failure pressing down on him, and it gnawed at him like a wound that refused to heal. He had never considered the possibility that humans could be a threat. They were too small, too insignificant, too flawed. But this human sniper had shown him the truth. The humans were resourceful, relentless, and far more dangerous than they appeared. As the commander continued to stare out into the jungle, his mind raced. He thought of the sniper's final act, the way he had taken down the war machine with a single shot. It had been a gamble, a risk, but it had paid off. The sniper had played the game on his own terms, and he had won. The alien forces had underestimated him, but they had underestimated humanity as a whole. The commander's heart sank as he realized that the sniper wasn't just an anomaly. He represented something far greater, a force of nature that the aliens could not control. And then, in the silence of the jungle, the commander heard a sound. It was faint, barely audible, but unmistakable, the soft crackling of a communicator. His eyes snapped to the source of the noise, a low hum coming from the remaining drones that circled above. The signal was coming through. The sniper was not finished yet. Even after everything that had happened, he was still alive, still hunting. A voice crackled through the static, breaking the stillness of the moment. It was the voice of the sniper. His words were calm, calculated, almost eerily so. "Commander, I know you're out there, and I know you're listening. I've killed your best warriors, taken down your war machine, and I've shown you just how weak your empire really is. You can send as many soldiers as you want, but it won't change anything. I'm the last thing you'll ever see. Humanity is a force you can never defeat." The commander's grip tightened on his weapon as the sniper's words echoed in his mind. It was a challenge, a declaration of war. The human sniper had proven that he was more than just a soldier. He was a symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope for humanity. And the aliens, for all their technological advancements, had nothing to counter that. They had lost this battle, but it was more than just a loss of soldiers or machines. It was a loss of pride, a loss of faith in their superiority. The commander took a deep breath, turning to his remaining soldiers. The few who were still alive were gathered in a tight group, their faces etched with defeat. The once proud alien forces, known for their merciless campaigns across the galaxy, now seemed like a broken shadow of their former selves. The commander's heart hardened as he saw the fear in their eyes. They had never faced an enemy like this before, and they knew it. "We've underestimated them," the commander muttered to himself, his voice low and filled with regret. "These humans, they're more than we bargained for." The realization hit him hard. The battle they had fought was not just a military engagement. It was a turning point, a moment that would change the course of their war with humanity. The aliens had expected to crush the humans quickly, to wipe them off the face of the galaxy like so many other species they had conquered. But this one human sniper, this one soldier, had turned the tide. He had made them realize that the humans were not just another race to be conquered. They were a force that could not be easily defeated. The commander knew that this battle was over, but the war was far from finished. The alien empire had resources, armies, and technology that the humans could not match. But the humans had something far more valuable: willpower, ingenuity, and an unshakable belief in their survival. The sniper had proven that the human spirit was something the aliens could not break. They would have to rethink their strategy, reassess their approach, and perhaps, for the first time, acknowledge that humanity was a worthy opponent. But even as the commander came to this realization, he knew that it would not be enough to turn the tide of the war. The damage had been done. The reputation of the alien empire had been shattered. The sniper's victory would spread, and soon, every alien in the galaxy would know the truth. Humanity was not to be underestimated. The commander looked at his soldiers once more, his expression hardening. "Prepare for the next phase," he said, his voice resolute. "The humans may have won this round, but the war is far from over. We will adapt, we will learn, and we will destroy them." But deep inside, the commander knew that something had changed. The alien empire might have the power to crush humanity, but they would never again look at the humans with the same arrogance. The realization had dawned too late. The humans were not weak. They were not easy prey. They were a force to be reckoned with, And that was a truth the aliens would now have to live with. As the commander turned and began to issue new orders, he couldn't shake the image of the human sniper, the lone soldier who had brought an empire to its knees. The sniper had made his mark, and he would be remembered for as long as the alien forces existed. And as the last echoes of battle faded into the distance, one thing was clear: humanity's fight had just begun. The jungle was eerily quiet now, as if the very land had been silenced by the sheer intensity of the battle that had just unfolded. The once proud alien forces, scattered and broken, were now retreating into the dark shadows of the trees, their morale shattered. The war machine they had relied on, a symbol of their superiority, lay in ruins, and with it, their belief that they were invincible. The humans had won this round, and the alien empire was forced to acknowledge the truth they had long denied. Humanity was a force to be reckoned with. For the human sniper, however, the battle was far from over. He had survived, but the cost of victory had been high. His comrades, those who had fought alongside him, were now buried deep within the jungle, their lives sacrificed in a war they never should have been part of. Bonner, the brave soldier who had been his closest friend, had not made it. His death weighed heavily on the sniper's heart, and as he stood there, surveying the aftermath, he couldn't help but think of what might have been. The alien forces had underestimated the humans, and in doing so, had brought upon themselves a harsh lesson in humility. The sniper had delivered that lesson, but it had come at a price. His comrades were gone, and the wreckage of the alien war machine, once a symbol of terror, was now a monument to human resilience and determination. As the sniper stood over the battlefield, his thoughts were interrupted by a familiar sound, the hum of a nearby comm unit. It was his commanding officer, giving the orders to pull back. The war was far from over, but this battle had been won. The sniper could hear the voices of his comrades on the comms, their voices filled with relief and disbelief. They had done the impossible, and they had done it together. The alien forces, once so sure of their victory, were now in retreat, and the human forces had proven their worth. But for the sniper, the victory felt hollow. The cost of the battle weighed heavily on him. He thought back to the first moments he had spent in the jungle, the fear that had gripped him when he had realized the aliens were not just a few scattered invaders. They were a full-fledged, technologically advanced force, one that had been prepared to wipe humanity from the face of the galaxy. And yet, against all odds, he had managed to turn the tide. It was an accomplishment that he could be proud of, but it didn't erase the pain of loss. The alien commander, the one who had ordered the attack on the humans, was now on the run. The last of the alien forces were retreating, but the commander knew that this battle would haunt him for the rest of his life. His pride had been shattered, and his reputation tarnished. The humans had proven themselves to be more than just a nuisance. They were a threat, one that the alien empire would have to take seriously from now on. As the sniper made his way back to base, the weight of the victory began to sink in. This wasn't just a battle for survival. This was a moment that would change everything. Humanity had been given a chance to prove itself, and it had seized that chance. The sniper's mind was filled with images of his fallen comrades, Bonner among them. He could still hear his friend's voice, filled with laughter and camaraderie. They had been more than just soldiers. They had been a family. And now that family was gone. But as the days passed and the battle began to fade into history, something else began to take shape. The humans had shown the galaxy that they could fight back. They could stand against the most powerful forces the universe had to offer and come out on top. The sniper had become a symbol, not just of human strength, but of human spirit. His name, his actions, would be remembered for generations to come. The alien empire, however, was not going to give up so easily. They had suffered a humiliating defeat, but they were a vast, powerful force. The commander who had failed to destroy the humans was now a broken man, his career ruined. But the empire had countless other commanders, and the war was far from over. The sniper's victory had bought humanity some time, But it had also ignited a fire in the alien forces, a fire that would burn until they had taken their revenge. The humans, however, were ready. They had faced the worst and survived. They had proven to the galaxy that they were not weak, that they could rise up in the face of overwhelming odds. The sniper, once just a lone soldier, was now part of something much larger. He had become a symbol of resistance, a living testament to the power of human will. And as he returned to the safety of his base, he couldn't help but feel a renewed sense of purpose. He had been part of something that was bigger than himself, something that would shape the future of humanity. Back at the human base, the soldiers who had survived gathered together, their faces etched with the scars of battle. There was no celebration, no grand victory speeches. Instead, there was a quiet understanding among them. They had been to the edge of death and back, and they knew that the war was far from over. But they had won this battle, and that was enough for now. The sniper's actions had inspired them all, and they would carry that inspiration with them into the next fight. In the days that followed, the galaxy began to take notice. The alien empire, once confident in their dominance, now had to face the reality of what they had done. The humans had stood up, fought back, and won. And that was something the aliens had never anticipated. As the news of the battle spread, so did the stories of the human sniper, a lone soldier who had brought an empire to its knees. But even as humanity celebrated its hard-fought victory, the sniper knew that this was just the beginning. The war was far from over, and the aliens would not forget their humiliation so easily. The sniper, along with the rest of humanity, would have to prepare for what was to come. But for now, he allowed himself a moment of peace, a moment to remember the fallen and honor their sacrifice. The human spirit, once thought to be fragile and insignificant, had proven itself to be anything but. The sniper had shown the galaxy that humanity was capable of great things, and that they would never back down in the face of adversity. And in that moment, as he stood over the jungle, watching the sun rise over the horizon, he knew that humanity's fight for survival had only just begun. They were no longer just a species struggling to survive. They were a force to be reckoned with, and the aliens would soon learn that they had awakened something they could never control. The end of one battle marked the beginning of another, but humanity was ready.